Hello, trading is closed on August 23rd, 2021. Our disclaimer always takes precedence over everything else. This is my trading plan for tomorrow, August 24th, 2021. Remember, I can be completely wrong and all trades should be at your own risk. We said all the bulls had to do to continue rallying to beat the gap and promptly take out these highs. They did that. This was the chart we showed. We got buy signals from a number of different indicators. We get to cross another target off the list, 44 and 54.33. Last week we had like 11 or so targets, I think, that hadn't printed. We're now down to 5. During the day, MEJT gave a sell signal. The target's already been satisfied. Question is, was there an ultimate sell earlier in the day? Well, that's kind of iffy. When I was first coming up with the system, I had to eyeball a certain number of criteria. We had to establish what's a strong move, what's a weak move, what's a long bar, what's a short bar, and I would just eyeball it. And based on that, this would give an ultimate sell signal. We have to undercut this low. But when I had the computer program, I couldn't ask the program to eyeball it. I had to put numbers on these things. And based on the numbers, that's not an ultimate sell signal, and this number doesn't have to print. Now, there really isn't a sharp cutoff. I just tried a number of different ideas with the program and picked one that worked. So we'll say 44.73.65 doesn't have to print, but let's say it should print a reasonably high percentage of the time. If it doesn't break any rules, but we'll keep our eyes peeled for that printing, even though it doesn't have to. I think this idea is going to be killed. I don't really have a good count now. You could still talk yourself into this being a expanded flat. The catch is we had a 2B top. Here was the all-time high until today. We traded under the bar and had the all-time high, and that gives a sell signal. And the stop for the sell is to trade over the high of the bar, and we did that. We didn't close over it, but still that pattern's invalidated as far as I'm concerned. And usually when you have a usually valid setup and it gets invalidated, usually it isn't invalidated just to restart the whole setup again. Usually it means one has higher to go. When you gap up like this and go up in a straight line without pulling back first, it's supposed to be an unstable pattern. It's kind of related to a cup with handles sloping up. You're supposed to retrace, but you could also say we're sloping down with a cup with handle. I don't think it's all that clear, to be honest. I will say I don't have a good count that says the rally's over. What isn't good is we gapped up, hit a higher high, closed under all the highs, even under some of the lows. As far as the short term is concerned, it's a negative pattern, should lead to lower prices regardless of how we close. Doesn't have to mean we closed lower, but it's a negative pattern. Of course, what counts isn't the close today, but tomorrow's open. And if we gap either direction, take this out fast, all the negativity goes away. Otherwise, even though I'm not predicting a lower close, we can't take this out fast. There should be lower prices printing, and one price we'll be looking for is 44.73.65. It's not a requirement. So tomorrow's pattern has the early low. We could still gap up. Typically, it's a rally day with a final hour high. early weakness instead usually is a sign of more weakness to come, regardless of how the rest of the day goes. Now we gapped up, hit a higher high, but closed under the intraday highs and some lows. And absent a gap and prompt move to new highs, the negative pattern should see lower prices. That doesn't mean we have to close lower. I don't think the rally's over. Usually when the rally's over, you have a clear wave count saying it's over. Maybe there is one that I missed, but I can't find one. So we, absent gapping up and taking this out, or gapping either direction, taking this out, and look for lower prices at some point tomorrow. But today tends to be a rally day, and the amazing rally probably is not over at today's high. And that is today's call.